to Nicole's Needlework. Today is Monday, September 7th, and it is right around 11 a.m. This is a podcast about stitching and knitting, and actually I have quite a bit of knitting to share today. I got Ginger here. I don't know why she looks a little mad. Probably because I stopped her from getting my shawl. She loves to like lay on it and knead it and pull all the threads up. But I do have a finish. I'll share that. And it is finally Blackbird Designs Oh Joyous Day. And I just got it finished this morning. Got it ironed. So this is on 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. And I used all the called for threads. And this was a wedding sampler I believe Alma did for her son. And it already had it said June 15th in there. I got married on June 12th. So I just had to change the 5 to a 2. And then I put my initials and my husband's initials and the year we got married, 1993. But I love how it turned out. It's so pretty. Love the colors, the flowers. So I'm very happy to have this done and finally have a finish. It's been a while. Well, I did have a smaller finish, but since I've had kind of a medium finish. So glad that's done. And then for knitting, I did get my stillness shawl blocked. So I washed it, pinned out all the points there. And I had it in Matthew's room to block because he has the most space. Well, I guess Jake would have the most space, but I decided to use Matthew's room. Ginger. I feel like she kind of knows she's on camera and she just starts showing off. But Ginger did get in there and pull up some stitches. Thankfully, those are pretty easy to fix. But yeah, love how this turned out. And that's Stillness Shawl by Helen Stewart. And this was a mystery knit along. But the mystery has been revealed now. So it's okay to show. Now she's going to attack me. She definitely thinks it's playtime right now. So the only other cross stitch whip I worked on is, let me see, I decided to start Susanna Lynch, 1862 from Lila's Studio. And this is one of her reproduction samplers. So I just chose this linen that I tea and coffee dyed. And I worked on the border. I got the border all the way around and then started filling in some of the red and then went down and did some of the words. And there's a little bit of overline in there. So that was really the only other thing I worked on as far as stitching other than Oh Joyous Day. So that's fairly monogamous with my stitching. Here's all the threads. I'm using all the called for colors. And this is that pretty red Buckeye Scarlet. It's definitely more subtle now. It used to be much more like bright and dark. And it's a little more subtle now. I really like it. So, love those colors. I think it's going to be really pretty on this linen. And I think this was a light mocha or mushroom by Zweigart, 40 count, that I tea and coffee dyed. What else is in here? Oh, and I also got in the mail, Janice from Traditional Stitches reached out to me on Instagram and asked if I would like a copy of Anne Morrison by Hands Across the Sea. And I said, of course. I had been looking at on her site. I had put it in my cart maybe 2 or 3 times and thought, no, I'll wait. So that was very, very, very nice of her to send this chart. And there's going to be a stitch along on Facebook. So I went ahead and pulled the DMC. And then I pulled some linen from my stash. And this is an old dye lot of Picture This Plus Legacy. And I just started just a teeny tiny bit to see how it would look. And that's the back. I don't really have a lot done at all. I did the bottom border there in a 4. But it's light, but I think it'll still be pretty. So here are the DMC on the Legacy. Like I said, this is a very, very old dye lot. But I think it's going to be pretty. I didn't want something too mottled, but I didn't want it to be too plain either. So thank you again, Janice. I don't know if she watches this or not, but thank you. That was very sweet of you to send that to me. And it came so fast. So from Canada, I was very surprised at how quickly it came. So that's all really stitching. I do have some things I'm going to share for Sampler September, but I'm going to go over the other knitting I've been working on. So I started this shawl a while ago, and Ginger had like licked it, so it was so fuzzy, and so I ripped it out, started again. I think she did it again, and then one time I didn't like one of the colors I was using, and then I must have started the shawl like 10 times, not even kidding. So finally I started it and didn't have to rip it out, but I did have to rip back quite a bit, like go back a few rows, because this is the start of this is brioche, and even though I've been knitting for 15 years, I still kind of feel like a new knitter because I don't know how to fix certain things when I mess up. So when I messed up the brioche, I didn't know how to like go back and fix it, like go down, like for regular stockinette or garter or regular knit stitches. I know how to go down a couple rows and pull those up and fix them. Brioche, it's like, or lace, my mind just like shuts off and I'm like, bleh. So I usually rip back, and I'll rip back a couple rows to where I'm good again. So I did this quite a few times, but finally got through all the brioche stitching. And brioche is a reversible, and I love, this is the back, and I actually love the back more than I like the front. It just looks so cool. I love this gray and the black and this light gray. I like the front too. It's pretty, but I really love the back. And now I'm on regular garter stitch, which is a little more boring, but much safer. And I don't anticipate having any more problems. Yeah, one day I will really learn how to fix certain stitches. Like, if you've ever seen Yarn Harlot, she has a blog. She can go back and fix cables. Like, she does like surgery almost on her shawls or on, you know, whatever she's knitting. You are really being a ham today. I think she knows, because she ran up here when I was getting ready, when I was getting all my stuff ready. She like is like, okay, it's time for me, right? She's so funny. So anyway, so I'm using variety of yarns, and they're all singles yarns. So I was using a little bit more colorful yarn for the first one, and since I had to rip out so many times, I used too much of it. Like, I couldn't salvage some of it, so I ended up ordering this Rose Madeline Tosh Merino Light, and it's fine. And so this is the second. This is Cheeky, and the rest are Hedgehog Fibers Skinny Singles. typewriter. And then Crystal, Salty Tails, and Cafe. So now it's just more mindless, now that all the brioche is done. And these are Chowgoos size 3, US 3. And then I started this throw quite a while ago, several years ago, and I was looking at my rug I got for my living room. And so my couches are white, and I have some gray throw pillows. Man, I cannot speak. So I have some gray throw pillows and some white throw pillows, and this color is kind of in the rug I got. And I was thinking this would be really pretty in with my new furniture. And so this is the Hourglass Throw by Brooklyn Tweed, and it's kind of got some cables in there. It's really pretty, and it's a lot of fun to work on. And this is the yarn I'm using. It's Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in Faded Quilt. So just a pretty dusty bluey gray. So that I would love to finish for my living room. And these are on, I think these are size 9, US 9s, yeah. And these are my Nova Platina. I got the set, the interchangeable set. Ginger. And then I decided to start another shawl, and this is the Sprite's Fen shawl, Sprite's Fens, I believe, by Helen Stewart. And this is a lace weight shawl. And it's kind of a feather and fan, and it's like a half circle shawl, but really pretty. And I love, this is my favorite lace. This is Madeline Tosh Prairie. It's just such a great lace weight yarn. And I don't have that, oh yeah, I do. And it's Astrid Gray is the colorway. Madeline Tosh Prairie. And this is the one I had 2 skeins of, and I was going to do something like much bigger, but someone else had done this shawl in this color, and it's so pretty. It turned out really, really pretty. So I'm excited to get back to that. And then I worked on my socks just a little bit. So I'm working on these heart nut socks, and I really don't have a lot done on this at all. Oh, and that shawl is a size 5 Chowgoo, US size 5. So this is a yarn I got in New York City, and it's this is Yoshi and Lucy Brillante Dark Magic, and it's in my New York City bag. But these heart nut socks just have a little cable detail on the front. And let me see the pattern here. Normally I don't print the patterns, but I did with this one. So it says designed by Willow Lott. Because it's black and white. You can see they're just a pretty little cable detail on the sock. And these are US 1 Chowgoos, 32-inch cord. And I'm doing the magic loop. And then I had wasn't really a Zoom meeting, it was the because I work for the town that I live in. The town administrator was doing like a, almost like a state of the town, like speech kind of thing. And so while I was listening to him, I'm working on this sock, and it's just plain stockinette, just a plain vanilla sock. And these are little DPN, they're DPN cozies, but you could put the magic loop, you know, the circular needle. It'll hold your stitches on there, which is nice. So I'm almost to the heel on this one. And these are, I think these are Nova Platinas, size 1, 32-inch cord. Just plain in the yarn. This is, I think this is, I don't have it in here. I think it's Life in the Long Grass, which is an Irish designer or dyer. I think this is Garden Party. But I'll post a link to my Ravelry page below, and then on my blog I'll put, you know, what everything is. So that is it for projects I worked on. And now I do have a little bit of stash, and I am gonna do, since Ginger's gone, I'll move that. I am gonna do a giveaway. So I'll go through my stash first, and then projects I want to work on for Sampler September. So I went up to Fire Poppies on Saturday and got this new Blackbird Designs chart. Really cute. And it's Sweet Summer Come Again. It's got a cute little drum, pin cushion, and then this little strawberry basket pin cushion. So I got a couple kits from Country Sampler, and this is one of them. Peace and Goodwill Sampler by Chessie and Me. And I've liked this ever since it came out. This was like a class kit through the attic at one time, and they released it. And Country Sampler did their own conversion, so if you want this, you have to get it through them. But normally it calls for all these silk threads, and they did a conversion to overdyed cottons. So, really pretty. And that's Peace and Goodwill Sampler. And then the other one I got, where did I put it? Here it is. So this is all Brenda's fault. She showed her Noel sampler. It's a little wrinkled from mailing, but that's okay. The chart is still perfectly readable. By Brenda Gervais. And Country Sampler, so they didn't do a conversion for their threads. These are all the called for threads. And then they sent this tin roof, Weeks Dye Works tin roof. And I'm kind of on the fence about it. Actually, I coffee and tea dyed this a little bit to take away some of the greenness. It's still green. You can't really, it's not showing up on video at how green it is. So I'm kind of on the fence about using that linen. I pulled a couple others that I'm kind of thinking about. So fawn is one, and this is 36 count fawn that I think would be pretty. Here, get in the bed. She's trouble today. And then when I was at Fire Poppies, I got this, and this is Liberty Gathering Gray, which I think would also be really pretty with this. I'm actually kind of leaning towards this Liberty Gathering Gray. And the other one, okay, so this one, what is this one? Oh, I know what this is. This is a Confederate gray that I tea and coffee dyed. And it's much more green. Nothing is showing up really true. So this is another one I was kind of thinking about, but probably not. I think I'm going more towards this Liberty Gathering Gray. So we'll see. I need Brenda here to consult. I need her to help me pick my linen. So future projects. And then another Christmas sampler I kitted. Where did I put it? Oh. Is, let's take it out of here, Gathering the Greens. And these are all Christmas samplers, but they're all samplers you could also leave out year round, in my opinion, I think. So this I have, and this is a piece of Lakeside linen. It's just something I cut off, and I can just fit it on there. It's a little under a 2-inch border on one side, but that's okay. And then all the culprit threads, which I think will be really pretty on this. So 3 pretty Christmas samplers I'd like to do in the future. Squeaky chair. And then I had someone reach out to me on Instagram, and they had a couple duplicate samplers and asked if I wanted them, and I said, sure, I'll take them. So she sent Sarah Needham, around 1860, it says, Samplers Forever, and I had never seen this before. It is so pretty, and she actually has an Etsy shop where she sells PDF downloads of all her charts. So that's really cool. And she has some other really pretty reproduction samplers. So I went ahead and got the DMC. I had some of them already, and then got a couple of them, put them on my thread drops. And I often get asked, these are they're distributed by Access Commodities. So if you just do a search, Access Commodities thread drops, these will come up. And for this one, I pulled a couple linens. So this is Dusty Road by Seraphim, which I think would be pretty. And then Creme Brulee, which is just a pretty cream. And then Vintage Luna by Lakeside, which I think is really pretty too. So those are the threads for that. So we'll see. That will be a future start. Sure, squeaky. And then she sent me Elizabeth Cheatham by Scarlet Letter. So this is a really pretty design. Again, I don't recall ever seeing it or noticing it before, but very pretty. And she also sent some linen. She said she was going to send some straw, 36 and 40, and she sent a couple other pieces. She sent that Confederate gray that I tea and coffee dyed, and then she sent this 46 count parchment, which is so pretty. So I'm thinking of using the that for Elizabeth Cheatham. I think that'd be really pretty on there. And there's no over 1, so don't have to worry about that on the 46 count. So I think that would be really pretty for that. The other chart she sent is this one, and it's really pretty also. Fox and Rabbit signs. It's Margaret McNones, 1828, and I'm actually going to do a giveaway for this. So if you would like this chart, just put Margaret McNones somewhere in the comment, and I will do a search for that when I do to pull the giveaway. And there's some pretty pattern darning in here, which I love. Just really pretty. So again, Margaret McNowns, N-O-W-N-S, Margaret McNowns. And that's what I'll search for the giveaway. And then she also sent, like I said, some more fabric. And I'm gonna give away some of that. Oh, and this, when I went to Fire Poppies, I got a fat half of this weight. I can't remember the name. It's 38 count. I think it's Wayfarer's Gray. I'll put it in my show notes on my blog. But I got a fat half of that. And then I got a fat quarter. And actually, because I was tea and coffee dyeing a bunch of linen, I actually decided to do that to see how it would look. I think it looks really pretty. So she sent a fat half of 36 count, 2 fat halves of 36 count, I should say. And so I'm going to give away 1 fat half of 36 count straw. And this is the Zweigart base. You can see the orange stripe there. So in your giveaway, if you would like, or in your comment, if you would like this, just put 36 count straw. And that's what I will do a search for. 36 count, the word count, and straw. And then there's a fat quarter of 40 count straw. And it's also the Zweigart base. See the orange stripe. So if you would like this, in your comment, do 40 count straw. F4. The number 40 count straw. 40 count straw. That's what I'll search for. 36 count straw. So thank you so much for your generosity. You know who you are, and hopefully, you know, paying it forward will make some more people happy. So 36 count straw, 40 count straw. And then the pattern, Margaret McNowns. Margaret McNowns. That's the word I'll search for this pattern. Oh, I did have another gift I forgot to share. So I loaned Tracy Riffle of Hands to Work pattern, and she sent me one of her newest patterns, which was so sweet of her. She didn't have to do that. But this is Hannah Hinson, and it's just a really sweet reproduction sampler. And then she wrote a little note on a postcard. So this is her design that I actually have also. It's the Littles. So very sweet. And then Susan, who is the owner of Fire Poppies, wrote me a little note when I placed an order and sent me this sweet needle minder. And the needle minder says, "I'm kind of a big deal to my LNS." So that was really sweet. And then when I was tea and coffee dyeing, I had, like Laura had, she showed last time, she had kind of a peachy linen from Victorian Motto, and I also got that and just kind of threw it in my stash and was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I was either going to sell it or maybe try dyeing it, but Laura dyed it and it turned out so pretty. So that's what inspired me to do all this tea and coffee dyeing. So I took my kind of peachy linen and dunked it in the tea and coffee and then sprayed it with the walnut spray, and it turned out so pretty. I love it. I'm so happy with how it turned out. So I would have never ever used this linen for anything else, and now like I can't wait to use it. So it turned out really pretty. Very happy with it. So now that I have Oh Joyous Day finished, what am I going to work on now? So this I haven't shown. This is Stables at Hollyberry Farm. And I got this a while ago. And I actually got the linen, called for linen, which is 36 count winter screw. And I did all of the border, or the vine of the border, and then the inside brown border there, and then got started on the barn. And then I kind of put it away and unkitted it, and then I saw someone working it on Instagram. I'm so easily influenced. So I got it back out, re-kitted it. So this might be something I work on. I don't know, I go back and forth. So I just have all the called for weeks dye works. And so maybe I'll get, whoops. Maybe I'll get back to that. Ginger's right here, huh? What are you doing? And then, so I got back out the Sewing Club book, and I started, I think it was the first one in here, which is Rose Hips and Ivy. Yeah. So that one I was thinking of getting back to. And this is also on 36 count winter screw. Not really a sampler, kind of a sampler accessory. Pretty colors. Let's see, Mary Bars, definitely want to work on Mary Bars again. I don't think I've worked on this at all since the last time I showed it. I definitely want to get back to Mary Bars. And then there's Mary Argent, which I showed last time, have not worked on it. I would like to get back to that one. So I would like to find one to kind of concentrate on. And this is on the 40 count vintage exemplar. All the Weeks Dye Works threads. And then last one I've been thinking about is Lucy Snooshel. And this is on 40 count vintage pecan butter. So that's another one I've been thinking about. Whoops, these are all the called for threads. All very, very pretty, and I'm not sure what, if I'll start something new. I don't know. So I think that's it. Ginger. I think that's it. I figured since I finished this, I'll go ahead and give this away also. So 4 giveaways today. Oh joyous day, that's what I'll search for. Don't want to show the pattern. I did take the pattern out to make a working copy, but it's in good shape. So we'll go over this again. Oh Joyous Day, 40 count straw, 36 count straw, and Margaret McNouns, or Knowns. So these are 2 patterns, and then the 2 cuts of linen. So, and then I guess I'll be back in a couple weeks to draw those names. So I think that's it. The kids are starting school next week, or actually tomorrow. I don't know why I'm saying next week. They are starting temporary remote, so we'll see if they actually go to school. Jake, my middle son, just turned 18 last week, and he will be graduating early. He's going to probably graduate in January, and he's taking a couple college courses through the high school, so he's doing this all online. And Matthew is a freshman in high school, so they're all growing up. And I'm actually back to work 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the rest of the time I work at home. So it's working out okay. I do prefer to be at home, but it's okay. I will survive. So I think that's it. I will talk to you guys later. I'll be back to do to draw the names for that giveaway in a couple weeks. And talk to you later. Bye.